This is Blackhawk99X, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Now, normally I make content for stuff that I see on Reddit or in Facebook, people asking questions. Today, we're going to hunt serpents, and I know you can't see it from here, but this is one of my characters for one of my community builds. This is going to be a quick little run through on how to hunt them. This is actually one of the best characters I've had set up for hunting serpents. We're going to look at a few things while we wait till sunset. You do have a better chance of finding them at night. You have an excellent chance of finding them at night during a storm. You can find them during the day during a storm. So what we're going to do here, as you can see, my map is pretty well marked with serpent areas, and I even have a place on the map that I call Serpent Alley. Now this lumber yard is where I park my boat away from my base. Kind of keeps it protected because I'm all the way down here, my boat's all the way up there. Any events that happen usually are player centric, and even on this community server nobody really goes up to where my tree farm is, so it's a good place to park them. Everything pauses out of your area of influence. But like I said, I have Serpent Alley here too, and if we zoom in real close, you can see I have almost non-existent shallows through this channel. So, I mean, I pull out of the lumber camp, I am pretty much in ocean. You know, unlike some of these other places where, like, if I had a base here, or even the base that I'm currently sitting at, if I had docks here, I'd be wasting all this time going through these shallows just to get out into the ocean. Whereas I have a dock that's got a very narrow shallows. We're going to be going right out into the ocean as soon as the sun sets here, and we're going to go, and depending on the wind, we'll run the circuit either to the west or to the east. Generally what will end up happening, I'll just do the west for an example, is I would pull out here. I have occasionally just pulled right out into the channel and caught a serpent just right out the gate. It happens on occasions. As long as you're in the ocean biome, they will spawn. It tries to spawn them, I think, every 1,000 seconds or something silly like that. From there, let's say the wind is blowing out of the east, then I want to go west, and I will go towards this waypoint. Now after that, I'll follow this waypoint out a little bit. I do want to stay out of these shallows here again, because if I'm in the shallows, I'm not going to see a serpent. Or you might see it. Your chances decrease of seeing a serpent because they're going to spawn in the ocean biome, and you're on the fringe of it. If you're not in the ocean biome, you're not really going to see them. And then we'll go down this way. We probably won't go all the way down to this serpent marker, but we'll cut through here, and then we'll do a big loop around, kind of come all the way around again, and the idea is that I'll eventually end up back where I started. Now if the wind's blowing the other way, of course, I'll go out this way, and we'll come down here, and again we'll do our big loop. And depending on which way the wind blows as to whether I go north first or south first, trying to keep the wind with me as much as possible. There's always going to be the chance that you're going to have the wind against you. Happens, the wind shifts. Nothing you can do about it. Just paddle into it and just ride it out, and then just kind of adjust your circuit and circle accordingly. So anyways, that being said, and the sun's going down now, as we can see here. Let's go ahead and get over to where our boat is. First off, let's just run over here real quick and get our rested bonus, because we are need to make sure we are rested and ready to go. We got wood arrows and we got frost arrows. I'll use either wood or frost depending on the need at the time. This character has a high bow skill of 98 at the moment. Not the 100 that some of my other ones have, but it's still pretty lethal. So wood arrows are more than lethal, and frost arrows, if I catch a serpent and I take a shot at him and he hasn't seen me, it's a one-shot kill. There is no adjustment after that. So let's go ahead and pour on through. It has hit the night. The music's changing, so we're going to hop on out. And there's our boat sitting there waiting on us. Make sure it's all repaired, and it is. And we are going to hop on and get going. Now, as you can see, the wind is blowing out of what would be the west, so we are going to go east tonight. And then that way, we'll have the wind with us most of the way. And we'll go ahead and cut. And like I said, you saw how quick I was out in the ocean biome from where that is. I mean, I'm still looking at shore on both sides here. We got a channel of ocean. And like I said, I call this Serpent Alley because I'll catch a serpent or two right up in this channel of water. Some Nessie action going up in here. I don't necessarily see anything right now. And of course, we're going to keep panning. We're going to watch our moon. We're going to watch the waters. You want to kind of keep your camera up so you can sort of see the breaks in the water. You also kind of want to look behind you because every now and then you can pass one by and not even realize it. And depending on how far out it is, I may or may not turn back for it. But generally, I want to keep moving forward as much as possible, cover the most amount of ground. And there we got one right there, and he's already spotted us. But I cut the wheel, I cut the sail, and I turned in such a way that's going to give me a broad shot at him. And we're going to just keep pelting him with arrows until that, and then we're going to dive right through him, just like that. Now in slow motion, I might have to slow-mo that. I dove through him. I got 6 scales, 7 pieces of meat. It's about average for a sea serpent. And we still got the wind to our advantage here, so we're going to cut our rudder back, and we're going to go ahead and go full sail, and we'll make that turn fairly easy and still remain in the channel. Now, again, you want to turn towards them, and you want to cut your power. You don't want to be drifting. You don't want the sail in your face while you're trying to aim the camera and the arrows at him. So go ahead and make the cuts, and like I said, just cut all power and just turn towards what it is you're hunting. And that puts you in a position, like I said, I got a good side view of him. He was broadside to my ship, even though I went right by him as quick as he spawned. And it gave me a good platform to shoot from, and it gave me a chance to dive through him like we did there, where you saw I took him down. And it took me more wood arrows than it would have frost arrows. Like 3 frost arrows would normally kill him. Wood arrows are cheap. Frost arrows, I gotta go up in the mountains and go hunt drakes. And drakes are not as big a luxury as these serpents are sometimes. So, I mean, I got a drogger fang. It was getting poisoned. It was doing all the things it was needing to do. We're gonna go ahead and make our cut here. We're gonna cut east. Look at my map real quick. We've got a lot of water to cover here. This is a lot of ocean, which is good. And you want to have a lot of ocean play in. Like I said, I'm not saying that you never can see them spawn from the shallows, and I'm not saying that they won't attack you from the ocean in the shallows, but your best bet at spotting and hunting them is just straight out in the ocean. We almost turned directly into the wind there, didn't we? I'll have to kind of ride that a little bit. Let's let's watch it, and then we'll cut back over, and we'll have the wind when we make the hard turn. Now, waves make it interesting. It doesn't mean that. I mean, I don't know. Supposedly they come out during storms and stuff. I would think that high crests like these would help draw them out. And there's one right there. Speaking of, again, we're going to cut sail and we're going to turn towards him. And let's see here. I probably turned a little too soon on him, but we're going to give him a minute. He has spotted us. And we're going to dive right through him there. I got scales and a trophy. And again, that's diving right through him. So now I've got 10 scales, a trophy, and 13 pieces of meat. Not a bad little hunt so far. Not bad at all. And we turned enough that the wind is back in our back again to a certain degree. We're going to have to turn into the wind, unfortunately, it looks like on this one. I'm going to zigzag a little bit. I'm going to go out a little bit, and then I'm going to cut hard north, and then hopefully have to zigzag back. Maybe in the process we'll pick up another serpent in there. Or the wind could shift in our favor, one way or the other. We'll figure that out here in a minute. But if I got to turn into the wind, let's get out to about here. We're going to cut back, and we're going to cut again. Because I was hoping to be a little further north before I had to make the cut with the wind in my back. There we go. So we're going to keep riding the wind. We're going to stay right on the fringe of it. We just need to get north to where when we cut back we can have the wind to our back. Now, spotting a serpent, of course, will change these plans entirely. And it looks like the wind has shifted a little bit. It's going to be in our face no matter what we do going back. And that's okay. We still got a little bit of nighttime here in our circuit. If I hit far enough north when I cut back down, we should be able to still have some maneuverability. This is a good hunt so far. My diving through method has worked, and we have spotted some serpents early on. Come on, boy. Oh. Well, punch him. All you can really do at that point. Punch him and hope for the best. Let's give him a sec here. I still missed him. That's a hazard. I got him that time, though. And I might have even got the... I didn't get the trophy. Yeah, I'm out of practice. I don't do this as often as I should. But... Ooh, we got a... I would consider it a successful hunt. We got 3 serpents, trophy, and 11 scales. That is about as successful as you are going to have on an average night. And if you do the harpoon method, you got to stay close to shore. You got to drag them ashore, and you got to hope that you can get back out again. I got a little bit of lag here off of my server. The server's in Australia, and I'm in Central Time U.S., so it's just a little bit of distance between me and it. So I'm going to have these little hiccups occasionally, little lag hiccups. And I'm going to go ahead and keep shooting just on the off chance, because again, during the daytime you can still potentially spot one. It's the chance is rare, but not impossible. So we are gonna run this film all the way to the end, all the way back to port. This is a typical night hunting. Going into the day, ran a little bit longer only because of the wind and only because we had a couple of encounters there that kind of cut me in an odd direction. But that's pretty much it, man. You dive at them, you take a shot. If you miss, punch them. I mean, if you got a high skill for being able to punch, you might be able to kill one. And I don't know, but I think with the new update that's coming out with the caves, I would love to test it out. Would be to get a set of those Ripper Claws, and if I did miss and did end up in the water with him, if I would be able to equip those and be able to finish him off with claws. That would be cool. I have punched one to death. You know, he had like 2 or 3 hit points left on him, and he was already mostly dead anyways. But I did punch him, and he did die, so there's that. And that would be interesting to see if that plays out too. I want to know if the Ripper Claws, and some of you guys playing the public test could maybe test that out for me. I would like to know, honestly would, if they unequip in water like everything else does, or if you actually keep them since it's considered unarmed combat. So I might have to put that one up against some of the other guys I know that are playing public test and see what they say. I would be curious. I'll just go ahead and try to back my boat in. That way, when it comes time to take off again for the next adventure, whatever it be, here we are, we're ready to go. Of course, parking on top of the rock probably was not the way to go, but it happens on occasion. Got a big old swell there. Anyways, that's it for this video. Well, of course, you probably won't see this ending. I will probably edit all this off. If I do leave it on, it's only because I'm just going to talk a lot about things. I do stream on Twitch. I have occasionally streamed on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, follow. I do things occasionally that people are interested in seeing. Does happen, believe it or not, regardless of what the rumors may be. And like I said, by all means, come back and hang out with me.